My YouTube editor Doza sent me this video. The video is called Once You See This, You'll See Competitive Games Differently. It's from a YouTuber named Cernex with 15.2k subs. It's got 411k views in 2 days. It is ridiculous. That just means this is a generational fucking banger. Absolutely god tier banger. And I love it when YouTubers like find their niche. So I want to watch this video. You guys want to watch it with me? This is a banger guarantee, by the way. Like, you don't get this amount of views if it's not a fucking banger. Okay, here we go. Check, get your popcorn, lock in, clock in, and here we go. Boom.
You know what's kind of weird? When someone asks what kind of games do you like, most people struggle to answer. You say tactical shooters, and they respond, oh, so you must like Counter-Strike, Valorant, and Rainbow Six Siege. And you say, actually only Counter-Strike. You say strategy games and someone recommends you Civilization, when you wanted something more like Hearthstone. Game genres are kind of broken. But I think there's a better way to think about this. And it's a much simpler way to look at games. And once you see it, you'll see games much more differently.
Okay.
But let's start somewhere everyone can agree. Every game has something that separates the good players from the bad ones. Sometimes it's pure skill. Your reflexes, your aim, your timing. Sometimes it's information, knowing things the other person doesn't. Sometimes it's something harder to name. The mental side, reading people, managing randomness, and adapting on the fly. These aren't just different skills, they are fundamentally different kinds of gameplay, and most games mix them together in different amounts.
Okay.
So let me give you
intrigued.
3 words. Micro, meso, macro. Now here's where it gets interesting, and a little uncomfortable. What if I told you the clearest way to understand what a game is actually testing is to think about how you'd cheat in it? If you wanted to completely break a game to make it trivially easy, what cheat would you use?
This is a really interesting topic, and it's why we don't see cheating in League of Legends that much. Because how do you cheat in League of Legends? You have a script playing the game for you, dodging for you, and shit like that. But a script will always just say, okay, incoming ability, dodge this way, dodge that way, do this, do that. But what separates the truly good players from the truly great players in something like League is that sometimes you don't dodge. Sometimes you just have to fucking tank an ability because dodging isn't the right thing to do. If you dodge, you stun lock yourself. It's a very good example with this is, for example, if you're playing Ari versus an AD carry, and if you hit the charm ability on them, which is a skill shot, they die. So what do people do? They preemptively dodge when they think you're going to use the skill shot. So a lot of the time, as an Ari, just not firing off the ability is your best move. Because people will dodge and slow themselves down while you just walk after them. And then at some point, you get so close that you can no longer miss it, and they can no longer dodge it, and you kill them for free. And this like meta understanding of what to do is something a script can never do. Whereas in World of Warcraft, you have an optimal rotation that you always want to do. So you can have a script run the rotation for you through a macro, and you'll just be amazing. Or in Counter-Strike, you have wall hacks, which will give away infinite information. It will let you react to things you shouldn't be able to react to. It will let you read the flow of the game. Like, different games have different levels of how broken they can be with cheats, and I think Counter-Strike is really top of the fucking hill. And League of Legends is probably bottom of the barrel. I can't think of a game that is harder to cheat than the League. Maybe Rocket League, I have no idea. I don't know how Rocket League cheats work. Do you want to buy a... You can do it on CS Money. On CS Money, you get the fastest trades on the market, low prices recently made even lower, and a wide selection of over 100,000 skins. You can buy and sell with PayPal, crypto, or trade your old skins for new ones. CS Money also has a market section with peer-to-peer trading, as well as an instant cash-out feature. Check them out with the link in the description.
The answer to that question tells you more about a game than any genre label ever could. So let's put this to the test.
I'm very into this.
What is micro? Micro is the execution layer. It's your aim, your timing, your movement, your
So micro will be aimbots.
An example of
scripts.
A micro cheat looks like an aimbot.
Yeah.
Perfect
and macro will be wall hacks and radar hack.
Time. If a game can be broken
Meso?
by perfect execution, that's a micro game.
Okay.
Osu, Geometry Dash, Aim Trainers, and Tetris are a few examples. You can cheat in Osu with perfect cursor tracking. You can cheat in Geometry Dash with perfect jumps. These are execution cheats, and you can feel the microness when you play them. Meso is the probability layer, the place where mind games exist. You're reacting to the unpredictable nature of people, not mechanics. A Meso cheat looks like stream sniping, knowing someone's habits before they show them, reading cooldowns, seeing things you shouldn't see yet. The best example for the purest Meso game is rock, paper, scissors. There's zero execution skill. It's entirely mental and probability. Among Us also runs on Meso. So does Liar's Bar. Even the stock market is built around this layer. If you wanted to cheat in Among Us, you'd stream snipe to know who the imposter is. If you wanted to cheat in stocks, you'd insider trade. Notice how none of these cheats involve executing anything better. They involve knowing something you shouldn't.
Yep.
Macro is the system's layer. It's your routing, your resource management, and your win condition. You can think of it like the mathematically correct way of winning the game. A macro cheat looks like a chess engine, economy automation, or you can imagine like a perfect coach telling you exactly what to do.
Okay. Ping it. We need a letter.
Okay, so the Warlock is not macro, it's Meso.
Mathematical puzzles. Think Factorio, Polybridge.
There's no way we're watching the same video at the same time. Hey, Sin, we got good fucking taste, my boy. We got a good fucking taste.
Tic-tac-toe. Once you find the optimal solution, the game is solved. But here's where it gets really interesting. Most games aren't just one of these, they're combinations of them. And the combination tells you everything about what kind of game it is. So let's look at micro plus macro. These tend to be single-player precision games. You need to know the optimal solution and execute it fast. Think Rubik's Cube speedrunning, Mario 64, Jump King, and getting over it. If you were to have a perfect micro cheat in Elden Ring, you'd have perfect dodges.
For those who don't know, and since this might be a second video channel, since it might be a second channel video, a react video, long time ago I did a challenge on stream where I said, you know what, I'm gonna prove that I'm a gamer, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna play Jump King until I beat it, however long it might take. At the 4-hour mark, I had reached 60% of the game. I was feeling confident and I was cruising through that bitch. At the 17-hour mark, I was at the same place in the game and I had not made progress in the last 13 hours. In that time frame, in those 17 hours, I had given Chad the option to play the entirety of Lil Tekka, I believe? No, I don't know. You know, I might be Lil Tekka. The Blueberry Faygo song. The song that I hate the most in the entire world for reasons I will not go into. For $15, you could blast the entire song in my eardrums. I made $900 that stream. Listening to Blueberry Faygo and trying to beat Jump King. It is the worst stream I have ever done in my life, and I will never again boot up that game.
But if you were to have a perfect macro cheat, you'd use the mathematically optimal build. But there's one weird multiplayer outlier here.
Oh, Ultra Kill. Chad, we need to play more Ultra Kill.
There's a mathematically optimal shot, and then there's the skill of actually hitting it. So even though it is player versus player, the room for mind games doesn't really exist. And I think it's a rare exception. Next, let's look at micro plus meso. This is PvP skill expression games.
This is Counter-Strike.
Tend to be your fighting games. Street Fighter, Tekken, Smash Bros, Brawlhalla. Your skill matters, and reading your opponent matters.
Or
But
maybe
also
see
you
us
have
as
some
micro,
other
meso,
examples
and
like
macro.
Mario Kart, like the micro
I
of
guess.
driving, and the meso of random items and unpredictable
Because you're also coachable.
We even see some unique games like Tetris 99. The original Tetris is pure micro, but Tetris 99 also involves meso, because now you're managing who to send the garbage to. You also have physics-based PvP, like Fall Guys and Gang Beasts, which also fits into micro plus meso. The next one is meso plus macro. These are the mind and math games. Think Hearthstone, TFT, Pokemon VGC, and Battleship. Now, chess is theoretically a pure macro game, but at the human level, there's a massive meso component. You're optimizing for your specific opponent's habits. That's why studying opponent matters in high-level chess. And then there are some weird outliers. Balatro is a single-player game. but it's also Meso macro because the RNG of the card combines with the math of maximizing your hand. You're not executing anything difficult, but you have to pick and choose your cards wisely, and play to their biggest strength. Phasmophobia is also a weird game that fits into Meso macro. It's a co-op game, but it fits here because you're deducing a ghost using evidence, which is macro, while the ghost behavior has RNG, Meso. Although I suspect non-PvP Meso macro games slowly converge towards pure macro over time. Once players fully map the—
Chad, has anyone ever been caught cheating in games like that? I would wonder if there are people streaming and then they get caught cheating. In chess? No. In this fuck-ass game, I already forgot its name. This one. Phasmophobia, yeah. I knew someone who cheated in Phasmo and I blocked them. Chad, people have this need to be seen as smart when they're not, so they will cheat in a game like fucking Phasmophobia. So the people are like, oh wow, how did you figure out it was a like, it's crazy. Chad, we have had a guy come into viewer games on stream with recoil script and aimbot. Chad, with recoil script and aimbot in pop flash viewer games. In CSGO. That has happened. What really? Yeah, in viewer games. Okay, Chad, not even from my ego. Okay, genuinely, if you think I'm fucking crazy, then just say absent. Okay. For those of you who were around for when we did CS:GO viewer games, present if people would stream snipe me regularly in those viewer games from this community. Ren, I can't believe I had a no-scope on you. Yeah, that one was painful. Back then, we would have people who would sit in viewer games and they would have the stream open and they would clip the shit they did against me in real time and they would wait for me around the corner with a Zeus for 12 rounds in a row, 15 rounds in a row. So if I made a push, they were there Zeusing me for the like 7th time and they were like, I Zeused Ren again, I'm reading him. So it was so painful, bro. It's the reason we don't do viewer games anymore. People have a need to be main characters so bad.
And becomes a speedrun problem. And then there's the middle, all three overlapping.
What the fuck is Flappy Bird doing in here, Burr?
This is where the biggest competitive games live. League of Legends, Dota 2,
Counter-Strike,
CS2, Valorant, Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, Rocket League, Apex, Rainbow Six.
Fuck, I love Apex, bro. I want to play Apex so bad right now.
They're not all the same balance. And the cheat test tells you how exactly they differ. So let's use Counter-Strike as an example. Can aimbot win a game of CS completely alone?
100%.
Almost certainly yes. If you never miss, most duels are over before they start. That makes micro extremely high in CS2.
But Meso is also completely broken.
Seeing through walls. Pros have done experiments with one player with X-ray versus 5 without X-ray. The pros have done experiments with one player with X-ray versus 5 without X-ray.
Pros have done experiments, chat.
The 5 still usually win, but the X-ray player takes rounds they have no business taking. This makes Meso very high in CS2 too.
Okay.
Which means macro, the strategic layer, is relatively the lowest.
Ooh, I would disagree on that.
CS isn't about long-term economy optimization the way MOBAs are. The rounds are short and the
I would claim that you were so young back then. Chat, that was this year. That was in January, chat. That was January this year. What are you guys saying? I would argue that information in Counter-Strike is more game-breaking. Oh, but I guess that's Meso layer. I'm thinking of macro play. Okay, no, never mind. I agree with him. I'm just thinking of it wrong.
Economy optimization the way MOBAs are. The rounds are short and the execution is everything. But let's try this test with Overwatch. And right away we see a unique case, because the answer actually depends on your role. But since it varies so heavily—
You know what? Never mind. Let's unban Hagfi. She's also old. She's just coping. Christmas cake. Time is ticking.
By character and roles, I decided to ask someone who knows about Overwatch way better than I do. So if you compare all three maxed out versions of the perfect version of it, like a cheat version of it, which one would have like the highest win rate, and how would the distribution be?
I would just say support is more macro heavy, DPS is more micro heavy, and then tank is more meso heavy.
Oh, okay.
Also, the way that it works is you have offense, defense, and control.
Yep.
Control refers to like map control. Offense refers to offensive options.
You know what's a shame? It's really interesting how many layers they have like this in Overwatch. But Overwatch as a spectator esport is so fucking unwatchable. It is so unbelievably unwatchable. Whereas a game that I would consider kind of similar in the ability versus like gunplay range, like Apex, is actually fully watchable. Apex is so fun to watch and play. But I've tried watching Pro Overwatch. I cannot get into it. I just can't get into it. You're just watching on the wrong side? No. I would watch like Team France versus Team Spain, like here, and then I would watch like, I don't know, Kiriko and May getting like absolutely fisted by Doomfist, you know what I mean? So I'm clearly watching on the right side.
Control refers to like map control. Offense refers to offensive options. Defense refers to defensive options. And if you a character's mixture or like kind of design links to this concept of offense, defense, and control. Tanks tend to depend on more control, supports more defense, DPS more offense. And if you actually like dissect each individual hero, they will have different like varying levels or varying focuses on offense, defense, or control.
So I'm thinking about it like this, right? If you were to give each role one cheat, you would give aimbot to DPS.
Yep.
And
Yes,
for
yeah.
tank, you would give the ability to see enemy cooldowns as a perfect cheat, right? And
Yeah.
for supports, you would have a coach or an engine, perfect coach.
Yes, that's perfect. That's exactly perfect. And also, especially in Overwatch, because it's 5v5, because you only have one tank. Like, if you can win every duel as a tank, that's kind of like a free win for your team.
But what about Apex? Apex sits remarkably balanced across all three. If you think about which player is most likely to win, a guy with perfect aimbot, a guy with perfect wall hacks, or a guy with perfect ring knowledge, all three actually has
Also known as Imperial Hal, my motherfucking goat. Holy bro. Philip, the Adolf Hitler of Apex. The CEO, the Imperial Hal on controller. Bro, nah, he's so fucking good, bro. I love that dude so much because he's so fucking passionate and he doesn't give a fuck. He puts nothing in between. When he's pissed, he lets you know. We can't support rollers. Yes, we can, because he was unbelievably good on mouse and keyboard. And then he switches to roller and everyone says he's going to fall off. And then he just straight up becomes the best player in the world on roller. We can absolutely glaze Hal. 100% we can. He was nuts on MNK, bro. Also, me calling him Adolf Hitler of Apex is just, he's toxic. But he's passionate. I like that toxicity. I find shit like that enjoyable. I like people like this. Because I kind of identify with people who can't sugarcoat shit.
pretty good chance of winning the
I'm
game.
the same
or a guy
type of
with
animal.
Perfect ring knowledge. All three actually has a pretty good chance of winning the game. If you have aimbot, you can easily kill anyone
There is.
rotating, but any close range fight will tend to go either way.
He's so
But
fucking
with
good.
perfect wall hacks, you can use your nades and abilities to take a team down, but you'll still lose to someone with good ring positioning. But even with perfect ring information, you could still easily die to someone who wants to contest that position. But let's test this in a really unique game. Rocket League. I asked Pro Rocket League coach Luke on his answer to this thought experiment, and this was his response. Basically, perfect micro or perfect mechanics in Rocket League would be defined as taking the ball from point A to point B as quickly and as efficiently as possible. Like how in a first-person shooter, aimbot moves the crosshair to the target as quickly and as efficiently as possible. For Rocket League, smarts cannot make up for the fact that a more mechanical person can just take the ball to the open net far more than someone with less mechanics. This makes Rocket League heavily micro-dominant. But after micro being the most dominant, he put macro second and meso last. This is because even if perfect meso allows you to hear enemy comms or see enemy boost, doesn't change the fact that all information in Rocket League is able to be known at all times. And for how fast-paced the game is at the highest level, listening to a perfect coach verbatim would be better over hearing enemy comms or seeing enemy boost. Also, the closest thing to perfect micro in Rocket League is the AI bots. I came across footage of 3 semi-pro players versing 3 of the best Rocket League AI.
Crap, and you're dusty. Oh my god.
And the 3 AI bot were able to win comfortably.
Really?
So here's what this framework actually gives you. It helps classify games, but it also helps understand yourself as a player. I noticed something when I looked at which games I genuinely enjoy. I gravitate toward games in the middle, the full micro, meso, macro cluster, and toward pure micro and pure macro, but I don't really enjoy micro macro games. Speedrunning doesn't scratch the right itch for me.
Same.
And when I looked at why, it mapped exactly. In Apex, I'd argue I aim pretty well and have respectable movement. I'd say I also have a solid understanding of rotations and ring positioning, but I tend to tunnel vision in close quarter fights,
Same.
specifically when we're in the same building. So I tend to miss meso reads when the pressure is high. And this exactly explains the gap in my game. Because here's the real insight. Every player has a natural lean. Some people are micro players. They grind mechanics obsessively, and they want the skill gap to feel fair. Some people are meso players.
Chad, based on this, what do you guys consider me as a player? Micro, meso, or macro? If you guys had to choose one of these, I want to see if you guys agree with me. Okay. Everyone's saying meso, I agree with. I'm very happy to see not that many people say micro, because I think a lot of people will come to me and be like, bro, how you aim so good? My aim is nothing special. It's never been. My mechanics have never been special. My ability to create pressure and to force people to play into my tendencies and to set myself up in winning fights, to mind control my enemies into playing how I want to, has always been my strength. It has always been my strength. And it's why I've been able to make a career out of Counter-Strike. It's purely meso. Dima has better mechanics than me, 100%. But Counter-Strike is not a game won on micro alone. Meso is more important. A decent micro player destroys a good micro player if they beat him on the meso rates. Cap? No, you're low elo. Your aim is very good though. My aim is nothing special.
They love reading people, and they thrive
Not in the
chaos
not
of
in the
PvP randomness.
elos
Like,
I've
we
been.
even see a common cluster of people who play Among Us, GTA RP, luck-based games like gambling, along with many other party games.
I'm
And
not
then
saying
we
my
also
aim is
see
bad,
that some
Chad.
players are macro
I'm saying
players.
my aim is nothing
They
special.
love efficiency, they draw routes on maps, they think about the game between games more than during it. And most of us are a mix, but not an equal mix. The games that frustrate you the most, they're probably demanding something your brain doesn't naturally give. The games you keep coming back to, they're probably rewarding the part of you that already runs at full power. Genre labels never told you any of this. Action RPG doesn't tell you whether you'll be grinding execution, reading opponents, or solving systems. It just tells you there's a sword and a level bar. And maybe more importantly, you can stop
wait,
blaming
I'm being laced. Your aim is average high elo, but your ability to control the fights and the way they develop is remarkable.
when a game doesn't click. Cause maybe the games are testing things you haven't built yet. In my case, it's the underdevelopment of Meso. And that's the 3 dimensions of games: micro, meso, macro. Every game lives somewhere inside them. And now that you know where to look, you'll never see a game the same way again.
Banger video. Enjoyed it a lot. Keep making more bangers. Banger factory. Bangerang. Okay. I also want to do... I want to show you guys one example of where I peaked in Meso. What was that brain rot game we played called, chat? Bogo's Minted. This is a Meso moment, chat. Certified Meso moment.
Ren, I saw that.
Yeah, you're full of horseshit, mate.
What?
Okay. It's fine. I love this.
Yo! Fucking
Okay, no, I love this.